What's going on, you guys? I'm your host, Stacey Cole Morgan, and you are listening to the Morgan Man Sports Podcast here on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about the official start date for the 2023 Call of Duty League season with the majors and the cities hosting those majors. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Seattle Seahawks in NFL Week 3 action happening this Sunday. So without any further delay, let's go and get straight into today's action. Alright guys, so the Call of Duty League 2023 season will be happening here actually relatively soon. And whenever I mean relatively soon, I mean December 2nd relatively soon. You heard me right, December 2nd will start the official 2023 Call of Duty League season. And guys, I cannot be much more excited than I am right now because I'm missing the Call of Duty League right now. And to get this action this early, that just, boom, that just makes me happy right now. And to especially have a great game like Modern Warfare 2 is from casual players and pro players, I believe this is going to be a really good season, along with all the roster mania news that's been going on here lately. Of course, with Crim6 being the latest of retiring. So definitely the league is going to look a lot different now. And it's just going to be overall, just top tier. Especially with the Major 1 event being hosted in Raleigh, North Carolina, being kind of like a neutral ground location. I'm not like talking about like dead center in the United States. What I'm talking about is there's no home field advantage for any of these teams going into Raleigh, North Carolina. So whoever wins the Major 1 tournament is going to win it by sheer force of, who's the greatest team at that moment. Not through home field advantage of like, a Boston Breach or Atlanta FaZe, Toronto Ultra. No, nothing like that. And also at the Major 1 event, of course, you're going to have the Code Bowl. You're going to have the Call of Duty Mobile Tournament with, I believe it was $1.7 million on the line. And also you're going to have the Pro AM Classic all happening within that weekend. Of course, with that Pro AM Classic, you will have $500,000 on the line. So again, the Major 1 tournament will be hosted in Raleigh, North Carolina to kick off the 2023 season. And then going into your Major 2, you will have the Boston Breach. Major 3, you'll have Optic Texas. Major 4, you'll have the New York Subliners. And for your Major 5, we're going back to Major 5 now from the Black Ops Cold War days. That event actually will be disclosed right now at a later date. And of course, COD Champs will be disclosed at a later date as well. I'm pretty sure it's going to be around Major 5 of when we'll actually get information about COD Champs with its official date and location. Hopefully they don't go back to California. Maybe change it up a little bit. Maybe do Atlanta at the State Farm Arena or something crazy like that. Is what I would. That's what I would do. I would book that for like a State Farm Arena here in Georgia. And I would book that so crazy. Make tickets available to everybody. I guarantee you it would probably turn out to be a big event. And that would be kind of like, like League of Legends kind of level right there. But of course, it would have to depend on how well the season does. But of course, I think the season's going to do well anyways, because again, everybody loves Modern Warfare 2, even from the pro player standpoints. And I think, again, it's just going to be an overall balanced game like Vanguard. Of course, I will put the article down in the link below for you guys to check that out if you want to read the entire article with all the details explaining what's going on. But that, of course, right there is your Major 1 event, your major events with the cities hosted and your official start date of December 2nd. All right, guys, so now we're switching gears on over to the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Seattle Seahawks Sunday, September 25th at 4:25 p.m. on Fox. And of course, the NFL Plus app. So right now, the Atlanta Falcons are a plus 1.5 underdogs to go into Seattle and try to beat them. And the Seattle Seahawks are, of course, a -1.5 to beat the Atlanta Falcons. So this is going to be a really good battle, I do believe, for the Atlanta Falcons. The Seattle Seahawks are just not that team this year. So let's go into some stats right here. Your season leaders for passing: Marcus Mariota is sitting at 411 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. For rushing, Cordell Patterson, 161 yards, 1 touchdown, 32 attempts. Receiving, Drake London, 160 yards, 1 touchdown, 13 receptions. For your matchup, the Falcons offense versus the Seattle defense. So the Falcons overall offense sitting at 19, while the Seattle's total all defense is sitting at 24. So this is going to be kind of an even matchup with a slight advantage somewhere in that running and passing game for the Atlanta Falcons. For your Falcons passing game, we sit 23rd in the league, while the Seattle Seahawks sit 19th in defense against the pass. So this is where you're going to kind of have like an even battle where the Seattle Seahawks will actually come up with the ball and, have some deflected balls. And also the Atlanta Falcons can sort of take advantage here and there in that passing game by hopefully giving Kyle Pitts the ball in double man coverage, because I would trust Kyle Pitts to come up with the ball and score a touchdown or that first down and, get them some receptions and some touchdowns. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, ladies and gentlemen. The run game, we are 7th. We are a top 10 run offense this year so far, while the Seattle defense against the run is 25th. So that defensive line cannot block nothing when it comes to that run game. So Cordell Patterson is definitely going to be running his ass off, I do believe, this Sunday and scoring some touchdowns against the Seattle defense with that run game. Now, switching gears, the Falcons defense versus Seattle's offense. So overall, the Atlanta Falcons sit at 20th, while the Seattle offense sits dead last at 31st in overall offense. So for the passing game, we sit 24th in total defense, while the Seattle offense sits 25th. So this is going to be an even out matchup where AJ Jarrell can come up with the ball and, get some interceptions, and, Mekeel Walker, whoever can come up with the ball, deflect the ball, whatever the case may be. And for running, the Atlanta Falcons defensive line is 15th overall, and 15th against the run, while the Seattle offense is 32nd in running offense. So the Seattle offense for the run game is going to be near about non-existent. They're going to really have to rely on that passing game with Geno Smith being at quarterback. So far, those stats look promising to me. The Atlanta Falcons can definitely have a field day against the Seattle Seahawks. And I do believe this is where the game where Kyle Pitts can have his breakout moment. Of course, he had his breakout moment. I cannot talk today. Over in London last year against the New York Jets. But I think this game right here in particular is where Kyle Pitts is definitely going to run wild. He's going to have a crazy amount of reception yards and at least have a touchdown or maybe 2 to his name. So it is going to be interesting to see this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and get into your Vegas betting odds. So your game odds, of course, right now is sitting at a -1.5 for Seattle Seahawks. They are currently favored to win by that much. The money line opened up at a +143 for the Falcons and a -170 for Seattle. And the current right now for both teams is sitting at a -110, with the public bet sitting at 90% for the Atlanta Falcons. If you're going to take the over, Right now, the public bet is sitting at 69%, so that would be your best option to go right now with the over instead of the under, because the under is sitting at a 31%. So guys, do you think that Kyle Pitts can have his breakout moment this Sunday against Seattle and that near about just dead last defense? My answer is yes. I think that he can break out, get his reception yards, and get at least 2 touchdowns this weekend against Seattle. And then, of course, that would improve the Atlanta Falcons to 1-2, while it decreases the Seattle's overall win-loss record to 1-2. So, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, make sure to like button wherever you are listening from. Again, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, GoodPod HQ, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Make sure to leave me a 5-star rating on Spotify and GoodPod HQ. But until then, I, Cole Morgan, catch you all later.